Hello everyone, I am going to be doing a product demonstration and a how-to video on the new Origami dripper. This device is really beautiful. It is designed to work with a Kalita 185 filter or a Hario V60 number 2 filter. The Kalita is going to be a demonstration we're going to do in the future. As you can see, it's got a ton of grooves on it, and the idea is that that's going to allow a lot of air to go around the filter as it's dripping through. And as the water is going in, the coffee bed is going to settle into place, and the drip is going to go through under a very controlled rate, but also very evenly. So let's get into it. All right, so a couple other things on this. This has got a wood base that's separated from the porcelain product, and I've got a porcelain cup that holds 340 grams of water. I have 24 grams of coffee that I'm going to put into the Kalita 185 filter. I'm going to tear that out and start my timer, and I'm going to just drip in 50 grams of water. And I can see that the filter is settling into place. One nice thing about the Kalita filter is that it's also got a ton of grooves around it so that it can allow the coffee to breathe. And I have, obviously we're sheltering at home, and you got a couple of dogs barking in the background. That would be Watson and Choco. I'm gonna keep going here with some water that's going in. The Kalita filters have a flat bottom, whereas the V60 filters, they are cone shaped to a point, and all of the water goes down into it and it collects the coffee at the bottom. And if you don't pour exactly precisely, the amount of drip through that you have can get kind of bottlenecked, and so there's a technique to be able to do that with the V60, whereas the Kalita filter has a flat bottom, and it allows a little more latitude and give for the drip out. With the ability to breathe on the air to go around, it helps to break up any kind of siphon lock that you might have, and so the water can continue to go down. I'm at 1 minute and 40 seconds. I'm going to do a second pour. I'm going to start in the center and work my way around to the edge, and I'm going to try and capture as many of the grounds around the edge as I possibly can. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm at 297 grams right now, 2 minutes. My goal for the whole time is going to be 4 minutes. My grind setting for the coffee is just like any other cone shape, a little on the finer side, more like table salt, finer than kosher salt that you would use for a French press. This is ground finer for not quite fine like espresso, but and not even as quite as fine as sand, but table salt's a really good comparison to how finely ground this coffee is. So 2 minutes and 40. I'm going to give the last. Now my cup held 340 grams, and I'm going to shoot for 360, knowing that the coffee itself is going to absorb some water, and so that 24 grams of coffee that I used and 360 grams of water ratio is going to give me the extraction that I'm looking for the flavor taste that I am. You notice I didn't pre-wet the filter. That's quite all right. There may be some paper taste to it. You could pre-wet it, also pre-warm your vessel so you don't have a loss in temperature. I don't get too fussy about that, but you know, if you're really looking for a flavor extraction, you can get nice and detailed about it. 3 minutes and 36 seconds, and we're just about finished with this. The coffee is a spectacular coffee from Mexico. It's a blend from Chiapas and Oaxaca, but single origin from Mexico with a couple of different coffees from those regions. Beautiful, spicy, nutmeg, smooth and creamy. I see that just the last little bit of drips are happening, and so I am going to set that right there. Salud.